There was a time when Boston might have been known simply for Fenway hot dogs, Sam Adams on tap at your favorite watering hole, and not much else. But over the years, Boston has turned into a culinary powerhouse, full of incredible offerings and tastes from around the globe. Join Viewcation as we serve up some of the best restaurants in Boston, Massachusetts. Uni. Among the many great Back Bay restaurants is this gem, offering fancy and delightful Japanese cuisine. But it's more than just a traditional spot. It's a lively and hopping one that's basically part nightclub. So as long as you're ready for a more up-tempo eating experience, you'll love it here. It's an izakaya-style restaurant, so you can always opt to let the sushi chefs choose your food. And at Uni, they nail it every time, with sushi and sashimi offerings that are fresh and tasty. But then there are some other great, if not flashy, options that can make your night at Uni a more memorable one than your average sushi spot. They have a quail egg with yuzu and caviar that will set you back $22 per spoonful, as well as hot rocks on the side of the table where the chef will prepare Wagyu beef. These types of dishes are perfect for birthday parties or any other celebratory meals, or even when you're just feeling adventurous. Faccia Brutta. Faccia Brutta is the most recent creation from two chefs, Ken Oringer and Jamie Bissonnette, who have become staples in the Boston area culinary world. They also started Little Donkey and Coppa, two excellent choices on their own. Faccia Brutta is their foray into the world of Italian food with a focus on seafood because, after all, the ocean is a stone's throw away. Situated in the Back Bay, the restaurant offers up excellent fish dishes like grilled lobster and a variety of crudos. Much of the fish is brought in from the Copley Square Farmers Market, and you'll be able to enjoy the freshness in every dish. And to top it off, they offer a fun drink menu with plenty of spritzes that pair really well with the light seafood fare. Sarma. If you're looking to throw a few bucks down for a killer Mediterranean meal, look no further than the excellent Sarma in Sommerville. Located specifically in Winter Hill, Sarma has quickly become a favorite of many a Bostonian, thanks in large part to word of mouth. The menu is oddly lengthy, given the fact that they specialize in small plates with Middle Eastern flair. So while you have the option of wandering in a few different culinary directions while there, we recommend sticking to their incredible Middle East-inspired shareable dishes. They are flavorful and bring a nice level of spice. Of course, once you've been to Sarma a few times, you might want to start branching out and trying some new dishes. But you can't miss with the small Mediterranean plates to begin with. One drawback to the restaurant is it's not in a particularly cool area, sitting out behind Sommerville High School. Plus, its popularity means you might have trouble getting a table. So reserve a table ahead of time, and if not, arrive before 7 for some options of seating at the bar. Bar Enza. The Charles Hotel has long been a staple of the Cambridge and Harvard Square area. As such, there have been various restaurants operating inside. The latest iteration is Bar Enza, and it's the best one in a long time. Many people will know the chef, Mark Ladner, because of his work on the well-known NYC spot Del Posto. But what people might not know is Ladner actually got his start in Boston, working as a chef in a tiny Cambridge restaurant. So it was a return home for the chef as he helped open Bar Enza. Like Del Posto, it's an Italian spot that delivers on all the major components of Italian cooking. They make their own delicious pastas and source fine meats and seafood to add to it. And the Harvard Square Farmers Market is literally a stone's throw from the entrance, making it quite easy for Bar Enza to source their produce locally. Some standout dishes include pork alla Milanese and linguine with white clam sauce. And the shake and bake hake is a dish you'll be talking about long after the meal is over. And to top it off, they have a great cocktail list that pairs nicely with the authentic Italian offerings. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Dakzen. For those with a hankering for excellent Thai food, the menu at Dakzen won't disappoint. It was Eater Boston's fast casual restaurant of the year, and if you're a fan of Eater, you know they generally have a finger on the pulse of the best spots to eat in a given city. But don't take their or our word for it. Go check out Dakzen and see if it lives up to the hype. It's located in Davis Square in Somerville and is a great way to explore Thai food that reaches past the usual American go-tos like pad Thai. They offer a menu full of tastes and heat if you'd like from around the various regions of Thailand, so you can stop in time and again and explore their expressive menu. It's not the place to go if you're looking for a quiet and chill evening. The restaurant is somewhat chaotic and bustling, but in a good way. It brings a vibrant energy to its service and bridges the gap between a traditional and counter-service establishment. Definitely give the kai soi and bami mudang a try. Hunter's Kitchen and Bar. When you think of South Boston, you don't usually think of Southern food, despite the common name. But there's no better example of this than Hunter's Kitchen and Bar. It's a Southern-inspired spot from the people who created some other Boston staples like Lincoln, Fat Baby, and Loco. The food is everything you'd want in a Southern meal, but it also has touches of culinary flair that mean your meal won't be like anything you'd get down south. For example, their chicken and waffles is topped with habanero lavender honey. Not exactly what you usually expect. You should also consider the excellent shrimp and grits dish, as well as their sliders known as brisket and biscuits. And the food isn't the only thing that'll transport you to the deep south. The decor is set up to look like a classic Southern hunting lodge. This means it's rife with plaid curtains, lots of wood paneling, and portraits of various hunting animals. So settle in for a meal of good old Southern charm, and be sure to pair your food with one of their whiskey cocktails for a great evening. Regina Pizzeria. Anyone who has visited Beantown has likely been pitched the idea of hitting up Regina for some amazing and classic pizza. However, by now there are a ton of these joints all over town. And while you can certainly grab a good slice from those in many food courts around the city, the original is the place to check out. It's in the North End and has been around since almost the turn of the 20th century, and the pizza is just as good as it's ever been. Why mess with perfection, right? Another thing that sets the original apart is the fact that you can't grab slices. It's a whole pie or nothing. So if you're in a hurry, skip this place. But assuming you have time to settle in and enjoy a nice meal, Regina won't disappoint. They offer affordable pitchers of beer, which always pair nicely with their classic pies. It's generally considered the top pizza spot in Boston, and for good reason. Now it's time to hear from you. What are your favorite restaurants in Boston? Are there any that should have made our list? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.